talk a little bit about the different levels of an independent school.
Okay.
So we kind of talked about what an independent school is, but there's different grade levels.
Yes. At some schools can actually start when the children are 3 years old. They start at the nursery school level. And of course, people like to say, I'd like to get my kids into a school that starts at 3 and they can go all the way through the 12th grade. That's usually like the reward. Can I get my child in and then I never have to do this again?
Right.
And some people are actually lucky enough to have that happen. As I said, some schools start at nursery, and then you have your lower school, which generally goes from K to 4, some K to 5. And then the middle school starts either 5th through 8, 6th through 8, and then the high school 9 to 12. Some schools also have what we call a PG year, which is a postgraduate year. And that tends to be a year for some students who just might not be ready for college, but they're not ready to be on their own at 17 or 18 for that year. And so they're not going to do the gap year. Instead, they would use that gap time to do an extra year of high school. And then they will transition to college.
So school choice within an independent school, families looking for a best fits for them. Can you talk more about the different styles? I understand it to be 2 different styles in an independent school as far as the learning styles are concerned. Progressive and traditional.
And I would say, especially for families of color, we tend to look for things to be more traditional. We tend to become a little more nervous when we walk into a setting that's progressive and it looks like there are 3 children over there and 4 children over there and a couple of children over here, and does the teacher really have a handle on what's going on?
Right.
And also that it looks to be less academic. And in some cases in the independent school world, especially at the lower school level, the schools tend to look more at the social and emotional needs of the student. So there's a variation there. Some schools may have that type of a setting. Others, there's going to be sort of a free flow, particularly at a lower school level, because you're going to have huge classrooms. You're not going to have desks. You may have tables. And students are going to be working together. It's more of a collaborative effort rather than just the teacher teaching each day.
And I understand that's also developing a love for learning.
That's
not because you have to. It's not
Exactly.
rote. It's through experience.
Absolutely.
A lot of experiential learning. So let's talk about another benefit of an independent school education, and that is college placement.
Yes.
That's college placement, let's be for real. Many families are at an independent school because they feel that that's a straight shot to Yale or Harvard. And at Riise we are saying it could be a straight shot to an HBCU as well, like a Howard University or Morehouse or Spelman. But let's talk about college placement.
They're used to the rigor of the work, they're better prepared, and they are used to the commitment to task. I think that is one thing that is very, very important, and I do think that they receive the ability to compete and be committed to having their work done in an independent school. And most of the students, have done very, very well at the university level. And I think that's where parents finally can say, this was all worth it. This was worth it when the college placement list comes out.
And I will say that as much as you are prepared and you have your list of questions and you ask them and you get them answered, there might not be a true rhyme or reason for the school that you choose. It could just be, it just feels right. It might be a little bit further away, or it might not have as much diversity, or it might not exactly fit that list that you have, but you just know in your gut that this is the right place. And I believe you should just go with that as well.
I agree, and I do think that you can't judge the school by how many people that you see on campus who to you are diverse. You bring diversity to that school. You must remember that. You bring diversity to the school. And the school is going to work with you. You may know other families that you feel might fit in. You may be very comfortable there. So don't let that cast it aside as being a school that's not on my radar, because you may miss out on a very, very good education as a result.
Absolutely. Yep. You just got to show up.
Yep.
Look for Sandy. She's definitely the admissions expert and can give you some things to consider while you're there. If you forgot some questions to ask, she'll be there. Just look for Sandy and she'll be able to say, well, this is something you might want to ask a financial aid rep or an admissions rep. And we will also at the event have the first ever school speed date experience. Yes, speed dating. When you talk about school choice, you got to find the perfect fit. So this will be an opportunity to sit with parents one-on-one. You'll go from one parent of a school to another parent of a school, asking some of the behind-the-scene questions that would be important for you to know from a parent perspective. And Let's Talk Schools will be hosting this signature series for our event. So we look forward to having them there. We look forward to having Sandra there. We look forward to having you there. And thank you so much.